Welcome to my world history notes, where I discuss or read from the book I wrote to teach homeschoolers world history, a Bible book that looks at world history. You can find it on lulu.com, amazon.com, or at the Bible Baptist bookstore, or just follow me here. Now, this is a survey. It's not very deep. You could take individual subjects and learn a lot more from them on your own study, but at least it gives you an overview of things you should know about, whether you agree with my conclusions or not, or even are offended by my conclusions. The point is, you should have an opinion about world history to be conversant in it. I'm going to discuss first, we'll talk about some martyrs, and we'll move on to Tyndale today. Moving on, Robert Stephanus produced a Greek New Testament in 1550 after Erasmus. Theodore Beza carried it into the next generation in 1565. In England, Ralph Allerton was burned at the stake in 1550 because he had no ink in prison. He wrote on his own blood, stating, according to Fox, that he believed the scripture to be true and would rather give his life than to deny any part. 1556, John Calvin was burned at the stake for arguing against a preacher who said the Bible was an error. What was the state of the Reformation in England? Henry VIII of England broke with the Catholic Church over the Pope's refusal to grant him a divorce in his efforts to marry a woman who would produce him a male heir. Excuse me. In spite of that break and the creation of the Anglican Church, a sort of Rome with the King of England as its head, just as the Pope is the head of the Catholic Church, not much doctrine changed. According to Curly Erickson's book, Great Harry, about his life, the Anglican Church rejected Lutheranism and copied many of the tenets of the Catholic Church for itself, hanging those who disagreed. The High Church Anglicans were constantly at odds with the more austere and fundamentalist Puritans who wanted all vestiges of Catholic religion and practice removed from the English Church. Anabaptists fleeing the continent were considered to be anarchist and a danger to the social order. William Tyndale, who is credited with Englishing the Greek New Testament, according to David Dannell and Tyndale's New Testament, is reported to have said before he was strangled and burned at the stake in 1536, Lord, open the King of England's eyes. Henry VIII vacillated between burning Christians as heretics for reading the Bible and encouraging its distribution. Miles Coverdale created the first complete printed Bible in 1535. The many English versions of the Bible previous were handwritten. John Rogers gave us the Thomas Matthews Bible in 1537 based on Coverdale's and Tyndale's work, using the pseudonym to keep from being burned at the stake. Coverdale was then asked to produce a Bible by Henry VIII's Anglican Archbishop Thomas Cranmer and Thomas Cromwell without the anti-Catholic notes of the Matthews Bible, and it was called the Great Bible, being the first authorized by the King of England is to be used in churches. The Geneva Bible, which is highly Puritan and Calvinistic, was the Bible that went with the Pilgrims to America and was used by Puritans until it was supplanted by the King James Bible, also known as the Authorized Version. It was highly critical in its marginal notes of kings and princes and was not liked by those in authority because of its puritanical leaning. The Bishop's Bible in 1568 was the High Church response to the Calvinist and Puritanism of the Geneva Bible. Next, we're going to discuss the King James Bible, and that will be either a long one or I'll break it up into two. I'm not sure. So I look forward to talking to you again. I hope you'll study these things and correct me if I'm wrong in a fact or a date, not an opinion. I hope you have an opinion from studying. It's okay if it's not mine, but you should have one. All right. Thank you very much. Look forward to talking to you again.